This here is a perfect example of what the media does to get people to hate Trump. The Vatican asked Pope Francis' funeral attendees to wear all black. Trump wore a blue suit. So that's what the media says, and this is the image they show you, right? Now here's a picture with more context, and you can see how many other people were dressed. I'm zooming in a little bit more so you can see it. There's a lot more blue than what the media was trying to lead people to believe. Again, this is the image they showed us, and this was the reality. And this is a perfect example of why the trust in the traditional media is at an all-time low. Like they had to zoom in and get the perfect situation to push their narrative. And again, it's not about being intellectually honest or even fair. It's about pushing a narrative. And this is a perfect example of that.
And today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to point out a lot of gaslighting. Why? Because I enjoy it.
Let us investigate.
I want people to live by the same rules. Because when I point that, I can also say the same thing about this black lady in blue.
That's racist.
Every time we hear a Hispanic name on TV, whether or not the anchor is Hispanic, we suddenly have to shapeshift into a perfect Hispanic accent. Police arrested 25-year-old Ilan Alain Sanchez. And I mean that honestly. Why do we do that? When I say Alejandro Mayorkas, I just say Alejandro Mayorkas. But on CNN, it's Alejandro Mayorkas. I'm Irish. When police arrest someone with an Irish name, I don't say police just arrested 25-year-old Charlie McLaughlin. I just say police arrested Charlie McLaughlin.
To this day!
Stop that. Stop. And it's for all of these reasons and everything that I just mentioned that America elected Donald Trump in 2016 and then elected Donald Trump again in 2024.
And in all honesty, I think it's spot on. When he started speaking Irish, I started laughing way more than I thought. Like, you're asking for too much. And the idea that you want to use that, oh, you don't want to say it? Oh, come on, man.
Thinking you're not getting enough energy, you must look what is your food, what is your body need. Your body, you are putting energy in an office, in a working place, but you're not giving enough for yourself. How could be you happy? You forget the materialistic life, you forget the car, big swimming pool, you big house. You must look after your health. Health is wealth. If good health, good life. No health, no point you having swimming pool. If you haven't got health, no point you are America or Bangladesh or England. Nowhere. With good health, this world is yours, this life is yours. Thank you very much. We'll talk another time.
I don't want to be judged because of my accent, but I am surprised that you or this guy is the mayor of Brington with that English. I'm surprised.
Oh, it's a long story.
That's like me going to Russia, not be able to speak the Russian language properly, and become the mayor of, I don't know, Moscow, maybe a smaller town, possibly. Still weird. I would never expect that. But hey, maybe his merit provides a different solution. I wish him the best. I do know one thing though, if this person cannot use his accent to pronounce a name properly, and I call it out, just like the newsman had to pronounce his English, you would call me a rrr.
What the heck is that, man?
Never before in my life have I called for mass protests, for mobilization, for disruption. But I am now. These Republicans cannot know a moment of peace. They have to understand that we will fight their cruelty with every megaphone and microphone that we have. We must castigate them on the soapbox and then punish them at the ballot box.
And I know for a fact, if a Republican said the same thing about the Democrat, we should never give them peace. Those Democrats.
We're gonna straighten you out!
This'll fix you!
They will call that part, put it on as, hey, they're calling for violence. Dilo, remember to subscribe.
No subscribe? ¿Por qué? When a black person is murdered by police or at the hands of police, the gun, bullet that came from a police officer's registered gun.
On average, how many times a year would you say a black person killed by police? Washington Post's own database, left wing, 10 black individuals a year. So
it astounds me that so many people still put energy on talking about unarmed black people being shot by the cops. In 2023, there were 13 black unarmed individuals who were shot by the cops. Now, in 2023, according to the FBI, there were 9,284 black murder victims, meaning black individuals who have been murdered. And based off of history, we know about it's really in between, it's closer to 9. It's in between 8 and like 80% and 92%, but let's just use 9 out of 10 for simple math. So typically we know about 9 out of 10 times a black person is murdered, they're murdered by another black person. So if you do that math, that comes out to 8,356 of those murders committed were committed by black Americans. And this is where these people who want to focus on this lose me. There were over 8,000 black Americans who were murdered by other black Americans. But a bunch of us, people like this individual, want to go focus on the 13 situations where a cop has unalived an unarmed black person. And it's much easier to do that than to take accountability for the death, harm, and destruction we're causing against each other. And that's what's so goofy about it to me. We are killing each other by the thousands, but a bunch of us are going to ignore that and go focus on the 10 cases that happen to do with, an unarmed black person being shot by the cops. It's called majoring in minor things. I'm not saying these individuals' lives are minor, but in comparison to what we're doing to ourselves, it's minuscule. Again, we're majoring in minor things. And this is one of our problems. This also is a great way to shirk accountability. Again, it's easier to point at those evil, racist white cops than it is to look at the mirror and say, wow, we're actually doing this to ourselves. And until we look in the mirror and accept the reality of what we're doing to each other and stop focusing on blaming other things and focus on ourselves, our behavior, and the things we can control, we're going to continue to struggle. Again, because we're shirking accountability away from ourselves and onto other things. And that doesn't require us to actually better ourselves and make better decisions.
And in my personal experience, when I better myself, I seem to like white people more.
Traitor.
Or that you try to pretend that you're a white man, or you don't talk black anymore. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Whenever I tell people how I did so much with so little, many times compared to even them, they're like, you're lucky. I'm like, okay, so why is it bad if I teach my people how I was so lucky?
Oh my God.
If you think like that, just like saying my problem is genetic. There's no cure. All my family members died of cancer. So let's eat food that might give me cancer anyway because it's genetic. There's nothing to fix. This is me. I'm proud of myself. I'm like,
What?
Brought you out here today to the Bernie Sanders rally.
I don't like what's going on in our country right now. I'm just kind of disgusted by it.
What's the biggest risk?
Oh gosh, what would you say, Dan? Well, I'll let you speak to that.
it's like somebody's like, I don't know how I need to gaslight. Help me.
I don't know. I don't really care for the. I don't know. I don't really care for the language that's being spoken right now in the country.
Can you give any examples of specific language?
Let me think about that.
So many things, I don't even know where to start. I would say, oh gosh, Dan, help. This is...
Really?
It makes no sense. That's like getting a divorce, but you can't explain why.
Yeah. What's changed over the last couple months post-Biden administration for you guys?
Oh gosh. Once again, where do we start? Okay, you go for this one.
Come on now, dog.
Again? I'm like, you know what? At least maybe these people are married. They have the same energy. So that's why they get along. But I'm like, how can you not have an answer? It's so, you can't be that angry and don't have a reason.
It's a whole list of things I can't think of right now.
Tell me!
Gay Pride Month seems a little greedy. 4 weeks in a row. We get Veterans Day. You fight for the country, you get a day. Thank you for fighting for the country. Oh, sorry, day's over. Take the meat off the barbecue. Memorial Weekend. You die for the country. They give you a weekend. Thank you for dying for the country. Take the boat out of the lake and put it on. Take the boat out of the lake, put it on the truck. You get a weekend. Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. Kept the Union together. Gets a day. Not even his own day. He's got to share it with George Washington, who founded the whole country. He doesn't get a day either. He's got to share it with Lincoln. But if they would have sucked each other's dicks, they would have got a whole month. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, officially, he has a point. Because if you want to celebrate being proud of your country for so many days, you're a bigot.
Right, as far as I'm concerned, Ben, it's a very simple solution to this. First of all, if you are that bothered about a foreign conflict, a foreign war, go there, campaign for it in that place.
Would you call for them to stay at home, these people, the Indians and the Pakistanis?
Well, look, as far as I'm concerned, you have a right to peaceful protest. It's right people are feeling angry after this Islamist terror attack. But having said that, look, it's time for mass deportations. If you don't belong to the country you live in, then go and live in the country you do belong in.
If you don't belong to the country you live in, then go and live in the country you belong in. Want to free Kashmir? Go to Pakistan. Want to free Palestine? Go to Gaza. No more Islamist sectarianism on our streets, integration or deportation.
San Francisco, which is unfortunately the poop capital of the world, which is not good for tourism, wanted to build a single public outdoor toilet. The bid came in at $1.7 million for a toilet, and it would take 3 years to build. A toilet, again, we're talking about. Okay, that was like 6 months ago. So this got into the press, so they were like, okay, well, we got to stop this, so they stopped it. Then a company came along and said, you know what? I know you want to build a toilet. We're going to donate it and pay for the installation. So donation of the thing itself and installation, oh, there you saved $1.7 million. Again, the toilet was $1.7 million. No, this is the problem I have with government. The cost, said I think San Francisco Chronicle, isn't the project, it's project management.
Yeah.
I'm not listening.
In other words, it would still cost $1.2 million, even though the thing itself and the installation was free. Why? Construction management, engineering fees, permits, civic design review, surveys, contract preparation, cost estimate. This is the bullshit.
Yeah, actually.
That sucks all the money out of America. This is the bullshit.
And that is entertainment for me to point at the bullshit so people can see I'm not a very angry right-winger. I'm just an independent person that thinks government sucks a lot of times. Breaking: over 100 illegals arrested in a DEA sting operation targeting illegal underground nightclub in Colorado Springs. The DEA says there was drug trafficking, prostitution, crimes of violence, and weapon being seized. I wonder how the other side is covering this. The administration is rounding up people in Colorado Springs and then pretending they are all gang members and violent criminals. It's sad. Give them due process and follow the law. And I believe if they do that and they're illegals and they did something very, very, very bad, you still don't want them to be deported. So why are you talking nice when you mean something else?
Don't get me wrong, mabosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde, kush hash, purple skunk, criollo, colombici, jam jam, durloqueta, verdeta, welcome.